Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. Joining us on the table this morning is Olayinka Ola Daniels, a lawyer and public affairs analyst. Good morning. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Thomason. Good morning for having me.
How is Nigeria treating you?
Well, I'm treating Nigeria well. Good morning, viewers.
Right, I have Tolani Ojuri here this morning, disability advocate, and of course, a serial entrepreneur. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Tomisi, and good morning, viewers at home.
All right, let's begin our conversation this morning with something that interests every single person here. The whole of Africa, the West Africa, pardon me, has about 75, a million registered voters, and that's talking about countries like Ghana, Republic of Benin, Togo, Uganda, Algeria, blah 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 blah. All these countries, put them together, they have just about 75 million voters. As a matter of fact, before this new registration started, Nigeria had more voters than all of the other West African countries put together. Now the 2023 elections is fast approaching, and Nigerians have decided to come out in mass, like we've been announcing, to register. Now INEC has announced about 96,303,016 voters registered for the 2023 polls. Yet, Nigerians are asking again for extension for the voter registration.
Well, Nigerian asking for extension, well, is not out of place. Unfortunately, my challenge with that, INEC needs to plan.
For the election itself?
For the election. For the general election, they need to plan. And this is not, we are the same people that will come and complain every time that, oh, it didn't work there, or that did not. So they need to work, look at all the polling units, whether they need to have more polling units, so we need to help them plan. We've been on this registration for years. In fact, I went through a particular local government on Sunday. I saw the crowd and I'm like, where have these people been? Now, these are not 18. These are not teenagers. These are not these are not people that are. That just became 18.
Exactly. So we're not talking about.
No, we're not talking about the.
Did you see that they are actually elderly people?
Yes. Look,
so a lot of people have been saying the people who came out are youths.
Probably 95% of the people that I saw that day on Sunday
were not 18-year-olds.
They were elderly people. They were not 18-year in any way. So what happened? Why are we like this as a people with this lackadaisical attitude of, well, I don't care? Then at the minute, like personally as a person, I don't like when you put me under pressure
for anything.
And
I don't think anybody does.
I give you enough notice and I tell you beforehand, let's do this. I plan my life. Even in my house, I tell them in my home, I plan. So, madam or children, this, or yeah, tell me this, I plan. So that I can work with whatever I manage, whatever not after I have told you. Because I do this, that's why I'm saying I want to bring it to the public. When I have done all my best to make sure that you do all that on time, then when I now discover that you did not, probably when we need to do it, that is when you are coming up. I shut the door and I move on. Yeah, I shut the door. I don't care what anybody says. I shut the door because I know that I have given you enough time. I have reminded you. So at this point, I make every time, how many times they extended, like how many times? Not twice.
No, for this one.
For this one, yeah. Before this year, before they started extending.
Registration was on all through last year. Was on all through last year.
I remember even there was a time on this same table we appealed to people.
Yes.
Go. So I don't know what they were doing. In fact, I know there are some states that even give public holidays for you to go and register. So then on Sunday, there was so much crowd, and now you are asking INEC to extend. But
again.
if it doesn't work, then all of you come hard on INEC to say they are useless, they don't know what they are doing, they are clueless, and all that. But people need to plan. So unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm not advocating for people to be disenfranchised, of the right to, to vote, to get registered and vote. But something, we have to just move on. We have to be serious. We need to, tell the world that we are ready for this whole thing. And that, you see, I tell people, whatever we see up there, the leaders we talk about every day, those leaders were picked among us. They didn't come from from Pluto. They didn't come from Jupiter. They came from this same country, this same Nigeria. So whatever we see is as a result of the people here. And that is what happens. We've told you severally, register it. You were not going there. In fact, INEC told us at some point, about 20 million cards were not picked. People didn't go for their cards. Then the next thing, you put all the blames on INEC. No, that is the height of irresponsibility on our part as a people.
You see, we announced, we canvassed, we told a lot of people that they should go and register. As a matter of fact, we announced locations where they could register. And I wouldn't say that MITV was the only media organization doing that. Everybody across the board was calling for it. Apart from that, INEC, in conjunction with USAID, Yaga Africa, and some other organizations, went around the country organizing different concerts and all that to make sure more people register. Now, the registration was not restricted to young people. It was open for everybody.
Yeah.
And they tried to attract people with everything else that they could. Still, in the South, people are asking for more time. In our backyard, Ogun State, people are asking for more time. Here in Lagos, on social media, INEC is one of the most abused agency of government. And everybody is saying, INEC didn't do, INEC didn't say, INEC didn't this, INEC didn't that. The question is, INEC employed people for this registration exercise. Every time they extend, their budget also expands. Budgets which they never planned for. They start spending money they never budgeted for. But yet, they could manage it. They kept extending it for Nigerians to register. When exactly will Nigerians learn that we don't do things at the last minute? We do it with proper preparation.
Until their fingers get clipped at the door, that's when they learn. Because you remember that we had the same scenario during the NIM registration.
Yeah.
Until people's lines got clipped. Yes, that was when.
And we did all of the noise, and people like Olayinka said they were going to court.
Crowd,
block our calls.
it is just
our life
who
from
we
doing
are.
outgoing calls.
The initial one, before it was moved, before it was extended, please.
And remember that
Before it was extended. Even when it was
the
extended,
NIM
they
was
still blocked our line.
extended a number of times.
Yeah.
It was extended several times. So we are who we are. We are used to like this particular approach to things. Maybe if the government had told Nigerians like 6 months ago that if you don't register for your PVC, you won't have your phone lines, that would have prompted, the legal people will have come to say, no, voting is their constitutional right.
But I trust my brother.
People now that people now realize,
the people that will go and
people now
do
realize that they might not be able to vote for the candidates they want. Now that dawned on them that, oh, okay, I now have to. Then there are other forces from beneath that like, you have to go and register if you want to benefit this. Benefit from this, benefit from that. It now dawned on them. But hey, this process was the NIMT was attached to the to your passport and some services of government.
Yeah.
That was the only time you see people going to local government to register for NIM. People, I mean, because they want to get their passports and their jam. But hey, we can't go on like this.
Really?
We can't go on like this because we can't keep blaming the government if we are not taking part. And this morning I was talking to a man and he said, "Oh, the last time I took part in the conference was 1993."
Huh?
And I asked him why.
Is he in
And
Nigeria?
said, yeah, he's in Nigeria.
Is he resident in Nigeria?
He lives here. And I asked him why. He said, well, they've got no business with government. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Really?
This place where you're running your business, you might be out of this place in the next 1 year. And he said, how? Like, the one government policy will get you out of here. So it's people, it's I mean, something just get.
Are you saying that some people wake up in the morning and decide not to participate at all?
Lots of them.
Lots of people.
So I know people who are campaigning on social media for candidates and promising heaven and hell, and there are people I know don't have voters card.
Yeah. I have a platform.
And then they are saying we will shock you people. And I'm saying you want to shock us.
How?
Please don't electrocute us, because when you shock us, we expect you to have power. Where are you getting the power when you don't have a voter's card?
Well, yeah, because elections is a numbers game.
Yeah.
So the people, I mean, if you go out to campaign in a particular local government or in an area, how many members do you have? How many people in the local government have got the voter's card? Even forget about the structure. I mean, not even saying about, I'm talking about the structures now. The eligible voters. How many do we have?
Okay, so
going by the crowd we are seeing on TV and on social media, it's like, oh my goodness, why?
So I want to look at the numbers now. Okay, so we have 96.3 million. We'll look at the breakdown later. Contesting or all registered for this election. In 2019, that was short of about, say about 11 million or 12 million people. So you have about 75 million that registered for voters card, add voters card as of 2019. The entire votes.
Not up to 30.
In 2019, let's even give them 32. Plus void.
No. Void everything. I said not 30. I was involved.
So you see, 30 million voters of 75 million voters.
So that's less than half.
So that's even less than half, like you said, of 75 million. Now everybody has come out to register for voters card. What is the guarantee that the majority of these people will actually come out to vote? Because don't forget that the voters card itself is a form of identification. Don't you think it is time INEC or the federal government issues a policy that stops people from using their voters card as an identification card?
A lot of
because that's why many people had it.
A lot of people are they're going for that voters card not because they want to vote, like you said. It's just for identification, and they feel that tomorrow government may come up. Like they'll say, okay, go and bring Lastra, go and bring that. The government may come up to say, oh, this is what they need for something, okay, maybe school some policies. So that is why some people are actually going for this voters card, not because they want to vote. I've heard people say also about getting this voters card, not because they want to vote. So now, well, I don't want to go into government. I just want to focus on our people. If we're going to go to government, we'll not address the issue. I like addressing the issue here. Now, if you're in Nigeria, and the reason why you're getting your voter's card is for the mode of identification, then you're doing the wrong thing. Because that is not the purpose of that voter's card. That voter's card, you see, you can use your name, you can use your driver license, you can use your international passport data page, whatever, for your identification. But maybe to them, they feel that the easiest is because, of course, they're not spending money to get their voter's card. Yeah. Don't forget that you spend money to get driver license, you spend money to get your international passport, your name and all that. But to this one, they know it's free. So they rather go.
I will shock you. Some people pay 2,000 in one local government to get the voter's card.
Hold on. Okay, let me put it this way: the
Who did they
22,000, because I remember when they were going through the name registration, and as at the time they said, okay, link it to this, and people had to register with name. So there was so much crowd everywhere. So for like my CDA, what we did, we got people from the officials. Okay, what we'll do, come to this CDA. We'll foot the bills per head, whether it's 1,000, just to ease people of and the fear of, okay, they won't get it done, or there's so much crowd. Okay, come to this side. All of you come, just bring 1,000. So this is not government now. Don't forget, we are the one that we just want to make it easy for everybody. Okay, bring this 1,000 so that, okay, we buy what's it called? Refreshments, we put a canopy, we do this so that you make it easier for you. So this is not government. So when you go to that 2,000, you're talking about voters card now. It may not be an INEC arrangement and all that. It may just be people, community arrangement. So we have to be careful. So
community arrangement, it was a personal arrangement.
So like that. So it has nothing to do with government.
Yes, nothing to do with INEC.
So it's just an individual.
Somebody was just saying, sitting down somewhere and saying, "Mole buying facilitates voters card. They were going on 2,000, and some people were collecting and paying 2,000, and they put the money together, and then we will now lead them to the place." People were collecting, and then people just saw crowd and they were just registering. But he had collected 2,000 naira. That's because that's why the Holy Book says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." They did not know they did not have to pay for voters card. But let's look at the breakdown of the numbers this morning. For the Northwest, in 2019, there was 20,158,100. Now it's 22,672,373. Now let's look at the states in the Northwest. It's quite interesting. I like this kind of analysis because then you know exactly what everybody is talking about. They say people in the Northwest, Kano has a lot of votes. A lot of Nigerians do not know why Kano has a lot of votes. In Northwest Nigeria, you have states like Kano, you have Kaduna, you have Katsina, you have Jigawa, you have Kebbi, you have Sokoto. So these states have the largest number of registered voters across the Federation. Always have had the largest number. So Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Zamfara, and Sokoto. 22,672,373. They had almost 2.5 million extra registrations. Now for the Southwest, they came third. Clap for you if you're from the Southwest. Southwest came third. 2 million extra as well. 16 million in 2019. 60,292,212, and now we had about 2,039,000. That's the breakdown on the screen. 2,039,979. You have 18 million now. 332,191 people who have registered for the permanent voters card in the Southwest. The Southwest simply divides along this way. The Southwest is Osun, Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti, and Lagos. Those are the states in Southwest Nigeria. Right. Moving to the next one, we have the North Central coming second on the list. Clap for the North Central. They had 13 million. I don't know why everybody was just 2 million plus people. But anyway, the North Central had only 13,366,070 registered voters, before. But now they have 2,314,000 extra votes. What it means is Now, the North Central comes at 15,680,438. 2 million extra people have registered as well. Okay? Sorry, please. All right, we have the next one at South South. I like South South. All right, Northwest Nigeria, the states in the Northwest Nigeria, because many people would say that they're not sure, North Central rather, North Central, it's not. See, let me tell you what North Central is. North Central is Niger, Plateau, FCT, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, and Nasarawa. That's another 7 places coming together to form the North Central. South South is Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Rivers, Edo, Delta. South South, 12,841,279 voters in 2019. Now you have them at 15 million. They had more votes. That's more registered voters. Fantastic. 15,299,374. As a matter of fact, the South South recorded a second number of highest registrations for the season. Northeast, 11 million people. 11,282,93 in 2019 now has come up to just 12 million, so 1.5 million new registered voters. 12,820,363. Southeast, 10 million, 54,000, 57,130. Now 1.4 million extra registered voters, 11,498,277. States in the Southeast, you have Ebonyi, Abia, Anambra, Enugu, Imo, making up the Southeast. The question is, the numbers are still tilted in a certain direction. So if we do the quick mathematics here, Northwest has 22, North Central has 15, Northeast has 12. If you put all of that together and you compare it with what we have in the South, North versus South, the gap is still huge. As a matter of fact, nobody closed the gap that existed in 2019. The gap is more now. That's what it means. So they have succeeded in adding to what they add. Northwest has 4 million extra votes above every other person. The North Central has about 400,000 extra votes above the other ones in that category, and they still had more people register. So we have still not closed the gap. Now when elections come and people vote, they will say younger people, teenagers, underage are voting in Kano. Wasn't this an opportunity for all of us to close the gap? To get more people out there?
You see, instead we're going to be deceiving ourselves. There's no how we will close the gap in the North. Why? How many local government do we have in South? Now, let's start from there. Let's check the number of local government we have in the South and the local government we have in the North.
Okay.
Now, if you're going to be sincere with yourself and being objective with yourself, if you look at the numbers, you will see that there's a massive difference between the North and the South as to the local government. If Katsina, Kebbi, and which other states came up from Kano, and as at the time they were with Kano probably was 40-something local government, 45 or thereabout local government. By the time these people were leaving to become states, Kano still retained the same local government we are talking about. So then, if a local government comes to say, this is our population, or this is the registered voters in a particular local government, how do you want to say no to that? No, what is the number of your own local? So, reason why everybody will always say that there is no how anybody will win election in this country without those people. And that is what politicians sees And that is the calculation of the politicians, particularly this one that people are, bothering themselves and, getting distracted with religion, sentiments, Muslim, Christian. An average politician is looking at on how to win an election. We just look at the statistics now. Look at the number from the northeast, northwest, north central, all together, put together in the north. And let's look at all the numbers put together in the south. So, how do you want to say, I don't care about what happened in the north?
Yeah, I don't care.
If you want to win an election as a political party, you must care. It is when you have the power, that is when you can be talking about something else.
Okay, so another interesting indices that people did not factor in this election is the fact that this election is similar for both the two titans. For example, this election is similar. So this is what it is. Atiku is from the northeast. Shetima is from the northeast. Basically, APC and PDP want to share the bulk of the votes in the northeast. And that comes to just about 12,820,000. So let's look at how many of these people even comes out to vote in the first place. But they want to share whatever is there. Now, Ashiwaji is from the north southwest. Okowa is from the south-south. The votes in the south-south comes to 15,299,374. The votes in the southwest comes to 18,332,191. But it's quite interesting that the southeast is the lowest on the table. What's the lowest? Still remains the lowest. Fewer people registered. Fewer people, which means even the registration was not taken seriously.
Don't forget that there's a peculiar situation with the Southeast as we speak.
Okay.
The IPOD are doing their things.
Okay.
And as we speak, they're still destroying INEC facilities, offices. Now, where will people get registered? Where will people go to register?
In some places.
Do you understand?
They actually took it to certain places. In Anambra over the weekend.
No, who will go when these people are saying no election on our soil? So you can't totally, you see, we have a problem of ourselves, and I've been saying that. It has nothing to do with government or INEC. If my people, they're saying you cannot have election in our land, so how do you get one? And let's even start. How many states constitute the Southeast?
Five states.
Good. Yes. Now, if we talk about the 5 states, now probably a major 3 states. IPOD is doing their own thing.
Abia, Ebonyi, Enugu, Imo.
Now, people are afraid. There's so much fear, tensions, and all that. They can't even go out. In fact, they may not even know where to go to register. Why? Because the INEC offices they know are not existing because they will go and bomb and destroy everything. So where will they register?
And that is the nomenclature.
So meaning that we, as a people, have been disenfranchised our own people.
Okay, so they are killing their own people. They're maiming their own people.
Feasibly
they are destroying infrastructure. They're destroying their own infrastructure.
Okay, are they not destroying their own economy? When you insist that Mondays you sit at home and all that, people are not thinking out of the box.
Condemning it.
How is it affecting me here? So we need to put all these things into consideration.
The children miss certain subjects, important subjects in the examination because there was a seat at home.
Even the ones that tried to go to sit for that examination, they were dealt with. So that
I don't
effect.
Okay.
So you cannot, in simple terms, you can't compare the numbers you have in Southeast with numbers you will have in other. That is why some people will use the word they are just dots on a hole. Because they feel, okay, even if you don't come out, and don't forget that Southeast are more of PDP strongholds. They are the PDP, more of them are the PDP. But don't forget, PDP will not have 100%. There is no state that any political party, whether it's APC, whether it's Labour, that will have 100%. Some other parties, political parties, will have their votes because we have parties in all these parties are in all the states. So we cannot say, okay, this is. So you have to still take cognizance of that sharing formula. Even if you're talking about now, if you then have this and your people were disenfranchised, your people were denied from being registered, then how will they get voters card to then go and exercise their civic right, voting for their own candidates? How?
It's quite interesting that we're talking about this morning, but that's not the only thing that happened over the weekend. Again, yesterday, the 1st of August, another one from ASU. So, ASU has been on strike for approximately, I think, 168 days. But then, yesterday, despite the fact that the federal government and all have met, and it looks as if from the language of ASU, the federal government has given them certain things and given a timeline to resolve the other ones. But then the ASU chairman, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, came out and said that they're giving the federal government another 1 month. This time around, they say they're extending their strike by 1 month, and they're giving the federal government the opportunity to spend that 1 month fixing the other issues that still need to be fixed. Parents across board have reacted to this, but we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll discuss this in full.